This is the document held out here by French President Emmanuel Macron to the press Monday, January 21, 2025, at the French presidency. It is a product of both Cameroonian and French artists and historians who have been working on what the French president once characterized as the glorious, happy, unhappy, sad, and tragic moments in the ups and downs of Cameroon's history before and after the independence of former French-speaking Cameroon, known at the time as East Cameroon. In an encounter this day at the Élysée Palace with members of the Joint Committee, plus the personal representative for President Paul Biya, the Minister Director of the Civil Cabinet, Samuel Mvondo Ayolo, and his delegation that included Cameroon's ambassador to France, the French president congratulated the committee members for making the historic document possible. But what is the genesis of this version of Cameroonian history being played out there in the French capital? It all started on Emmanuel Macron's maiden visit to Cameroon way back in July 27, 2022. During the traditional press conference that followed the exchanges of both presidents, 4 questions were fired to both heads of state from Cameroonian and French journalists. However, the most relevant to the work in question was one by Cameroonian reporter Georges Alain Boyomo, working for the French-language daily newspaper Mutation. He sought to know if the French head of state was in a position, several decades after, to recognize and assume responsibility for the atrocities of the French soldiers during the period of the Maquisards, otherwise known in some Cameroonian circles as freedom fighters. In his response, Emmanuel Macron explained that historians have established the past and its inglorious happenings, and that it's now left for those historians on both sides to shine light on this ugly past. History, he explained, has to continue to be written by both sides. Left to him, French and Cameroonian historians ought to come together. He explained.
Je propose donc que nous réunissions les conditions pour mener ce travail, je l'ai dit au président, et que nous mettions en place une commission d'historiens.
I have proposed to President Paul Biya that we put in place a committee for historians that can work together and have uninterrupted access to the totality of archives during their working period. Working within the deadline, this is the product of what the French leader was talking about in 2022. President Paul Biya will officially receive the document by month's end to move forward the issue of recognizing and assuming responsibility for the atrocities of Cameroonians in the twilight years of independence.